beyond being human, who are you? I sent a text message to my ex-wife while we used to be married that confused her a lot. I wrote, "You are not an accountant. You are not a wife. You are not a woman. You are you. I love you." And that left her very perplexed, and she couldn't understand what I was talking about. What the fuck did I mean, you're not a woman? She's like, what do you mean I'm not a woman? What do you mean I'm not an accountant? I've got a freaking degree. She worked for years to pass all the accounting tests. What the fuck am I talking about? I want to take you through a thought experiment around this question of who are you beyond being human? Imagine that when you were born, at 1 minute, they take you out of the womb and right away they send you to the other side of the world, the complete opposite place that you live in. So if you grew up in a wealthy family in America, imagine that they send you in a poor family in China. If you were born somewhere in a wealthy or middle class family in the Middle East, maybe they'll send you, I don't know, to somewhere in Greenland. Who knows? Whatever. They send you to a completely different place, different family, different religion, different language, different everything. Now you fast forward to today and you meet that person. So you meet that person who was you when you were born, same baby, but that baby grew up in a different country, spoke different language, ate different food. And the question is, what is in common between you and that person? Because you've got different life stories, different experiences. You've been raised by different parents, even though you've got the same biological parents. You've been raised by different people. You may have different beliefs. You may have very different habits. And even your physical body is not going to be the same because you've eaten different food. And your body is made out of the food that you eat. Your body is built with the food you eat. So your physical body wouldn't be the same. Your thoughts wouldn't be the same. Your ideas wouldn't be the same. So what is the same? Because the thing that is in common between you and that person, that is you. That's who you are beyond being human. In the same way, when a client, a Canadian entrepreneur, came here to spend 4 days in coaching with me, at the end of the 4 days, I told him, I'm not a real coach. And he looked at me and was like, wait, what do you mean? I said, well, you know that Canada doesn't exist, right? And he was even more confused. Like, what do you mean Canada doesn't exist? He was like, I'm flying back there tomorrow. What the fuck are you on now? And that's when I helped him make the distinction, which is that the mountains and the lakes and the rivers and the trees that are in what we call Canada exist, or may exist. They're definitely something that I can see, that everybody can see, that the dogs and the animals can see and interact with. So this exists. But Canada is a concept. Canada is a story. Canada is the idea of Europeans arriving in this piece of land that they call the Americas, and to this piece of land called the Americas, and that they freed themselves from the Queen and blah blah, and the whole story. And that's a story. That's not real. That's a story. In the same way that when my wife says she's an accountant, it's a story. It's a story that is very believable to all of us humans because she has a piece of paper from a university, which we rely on as being of telling the truth. So now she has a degree from paper from a university that says she's an accountant. So we all believe she's an accountant. In the same way, we all believe that I'm a man because it's a very convincing illusion. It very much looks like I am a man. And it makes it so much easier for all of us to refer to me as a man and to my wife as a woman, because it makes it easier to distinguish the kind of sexual systems we have. But even that is just a story. Because you've got people who are transgender. You've got men who have feminine attributes and feminine qualities and essentially like to behave as what we see as women. You've got women who have very masculine energy, and you've got people who are both, who are mixed. You've got people who are hermaphrodites. And all these people now, they fuck up that beautiful little story that we had, which is that there's men, there's women, and that's it. So the question and the exercise for you to practice and explore is, what is everything that defines who you are? If you were to try to define yourself and explain who you are to someone who's never met you, never seen you, what defines you? I'm Belgian. I went to 5 different schools. I have a degree from a university in the US. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a coach. I was married, etc. I do judo. I have a black belt in judo, etc. I'm a photographer. All these things that define who you are. And then once you've made that list, the next question is, how is this a story you tell, and how is this not real? How is this just a story? Once you've answered that question, you can get to the fair final one, which is for me the most exciting bit, which is, without that story, who are you really? So who are you beyond those stories you tell? Who are you? You.